I noticed that a lot of, actually, almost all of Larry's meditations, he talks about awareness, you know, awareness of the body, of course, and also he includes, in part of his meditations, he includes being aware of vast open awareness as an identity of ours, or as the identity, maybe the true identity. And so I thought I'd offer a meditation exploring that in some ways, maybe a little different language, but maybe that can open up some possibilities that we don't normally consider. So why don't we find a nice, comfortable position, kind of invite yourself into the vast open space here that we are. And just notice your body. We can soften our awareness, just relax, allow our attention to kind of rest, fall back on ourselves, being aware. And if you want to lay down or close your eyes or stay with your eyes open, that's fine. And I wanted to start with noticing that whatever we're experiencing, whatever we've ever experienced in our life, we are aware of it. You know, we can just check that out in our own experience. Right now, we're aware of my voice, seeing a screen or a room, aware of thoughts, feelings, perceptions. All of these are present. So we can let our imagination go wherever it wants in experience. And awareness is always here now. And along with that, we can notice that nothing is ever manifested outside of our awareness. Could you imagine experiencing something that's outside of your awareness? In our experience, isn't awareness the essential ingredient for experiencing itself? So we can verify in our own experience that the experience of being aware, simply that, is the constant element in all of our experience. And everything that we're aware of is continuously changing. Our thoughts, images, sights and sounds, always appearing and disappearing continuously. How long does a thought last? Or a sensation or a perception? They don't last long. Our experience of being aware remains constant throughout, before an experience arises, while we're experiencing, and after it dissolves and is replaced by ever new experiences. Like the thoughts we have right now are not the same as we have like 2 minutes ago, 2 months ago, 6 months from now. They're all changing all the time. So being aware is the only element of our experience that never changes. It never appears or disappears. Everything else we've ever experienced, thought, feeling, sights, sounds, perceptions, these are all vanishing all the time. It's a constant flow, and it's what the Buddhist teachers tell us is the flow of impermanence. Everything is impermanent. Everything perceivable or describable is impermanent. So the experience is simply being aware that remains unchanging. In meditation, we can experience that this experience of simply being aware is never affected itself by what we're aware of. And what we're aware of never manifests without appearing within the awareness of our being. So when we're experiencing, thinking, feeling, perceiving, we're experiencing what they're made of. Everything that appears has to appear in something. You can't have a cloud without the sky. You can't have a movie without the screen. So many Buddhist teachers will use a common name that we give for simply being aware. And they will use the word I. You know, we call ourselves I every moment of our lives. I refers to the simple experience of being. We all say, I'm aware of thoughts, I'm aware of the car, of sights, of this room, I'm aware of my feelings. I is the name we give to that which is aware of our experience. And it's the doorway to showing that the I that we think of as a separate body-mind is possibly the same supreme I of the whole universe, of vast, unlimited awareness. So meditation is a way we let go of our thinking about what reality is and open to the possibility of Buddha's teaching that the presence we are, that which is looking out of our eyes right now, is the totality of all being. It's not perceivable or describable. We can't get our mind around it. So this I that we all share is the unchanging element, the experience of simply being aware that runs consistently throughout all experience, but normally we're so fascinated by what we're aware of, by thoughts, feelings, the state of our perceptions, that the simple experience of being is overlooked and we don't notice it. But the experience of being aware is something that we can't be aware of in the same way we're aware of, say, thoughts and perceptions. But we all have the experience of being aware now. So you can ask yourself, am I aware now? It's self-evident. If we doubt that we're aware, awareness is doing the doubting. So this comes from our own experience of being aware. We know we're aware. We know that we're aware. But if you try to direct your attention to the experience of being aware, Where does it go? You can direct your attention to a current thought, that's easy, or to, say, the tingling at the soles of your feet, or, say, to flowers in the room. That's easy. But if you try to direct your attention to the experience of being aware, you can't do it because the experience of being aware is too close. It's like our eyes can't see themselves because our eyes are what we're seeing through. So trying to turn towards the experience of being aware is really trying to turn towards the experience of being yourself. Towards the I we always refer to as ourselves every moment of our life. So one little experiment you can do is imagine standing up and trying to take a step toward yourself. Or you can try taking a step backward away from yourself. But when we do that, we have the experience of not becoming any closer or farther away from ourselves. So to turn attention toward ourselves doesn't mean towards your thoughts, perceptions, or bodily sensations. You're aware of all of those. But when you try to turn your attention toward yourself, the more we try and do that, we realize it's only possible to direct our attention to some kind of object, thoughts, feelings, or perceptions. But we can't turn our attention around and shine back on that which is aware of these objects. It's like if there's a flashlight in a dark room, if someone says, shine the light on the beam of the light coming from the bulb can't turn around and see itself. The light bulb is the only thing we can't shine the light on. Can't be turned around on itself. So we can give our attention to thoughts, feelings, and perceptions, but our attention arises from our awareness and is too close to itself to turn around and look at itself. So the question comes up, how can we more deeply explore ourself? So to find out about our experience of being aware, or vast open awareness itself on a deeper level, we can only direct our attention away from it. So rather than directing our attention, meditation is relaxing our attention, allowing it to kind of relax back or fall back on itself, on its source, instead of trying to direct it towards awareness. Let it sink backwards into its source. So it's a resting of our attention. Attention is only needed to know objects, but to know ourselves, self-conscious attention isn't required. So we let our attention rest and fall backwards into its source, its feeling of being, or being aware as vast, open awareness. And we can ask ourselves, have we ever had an experience that is more intimate or familiar than simply being aware? So our experience of being aware is not something inaccessible. It's present all the time. So just pause and experience being aware. When we realize that we're aware, that is the awareness of being aware. And how far do we have to go? How hard do we need to look for it? It's not buried somewhere in the depths of experience. There's no need to practice a technique to access it. It's here, totally available every moment. And its condition is completely independent of the conditions of our experience of thoughts, sensations, or perceptions. So our experience of simply being aware, it's not qualified by any object that we're aware of, any experience that we're aware of. Another question we can ask ourselves, is any experience at a distance from our experience of being aware? You can't grab a thought out of midair. Without the thought of an experience outside, being outside, is it really outside? Does space really have dimensions? So we open to the possibility that the experience of being aware intimately pervades all of our feelings, thoughts, perceptions, all of our experience. And is this presence here now, awareness of just being present, just being aware, is it ever disturbed or altered in any way? Obviously, our thoughts, feelings can be disturbed. They're always moving and changing. But what of the experience of being aware? This ever-present here and now, does it ever move or change? Somehow we don't know how. It has the ability to take the appearance of objective experience. It has the power to take the appearance of hearing, seeing, feeling, thinking. But here and now, the awareness here and now remains constant. It's not affected or qualified by whatever those experiences are. So we can ask, is the awareness with which our most intelligent thoughts are known any different than the awareness with which our most unintelligent thoughts are known? Isn't it the same awareness in each case that knows the full range of thoughts and feelings? They're always known by you, the you that is aware. So our experience of being aware intimately pervades all of our experience, but it's never stained or harmed or conditioned by any experience. No experience leaves a trace on our essential being. So what for me is perhaps the most important quality of our being if we open to and soften, relax our attention and receive the offering of this being, is that it unconditionally accepts every experience. It's always offering unconditional acceptance, compassion, and love. And as we open to vast, boundless awareness, more and more we intuitively sense that this vast, boundless, alive spirit can absorb any experience and offer infinite compassion to any situation. This vast open awareness is always ever present. It's never aged, has never been aggrandized or diminished by any experience. It has never known any limits or boundaries. It's like vast space. Beyond vastness, it has no dimensions. And another equally important for us quality of our essential being is that it's shared. Isn't it clear that we're all experiencing the same awareness of being aware? So this ability of our being to take the form of experience, to be transparent to our experience, to be the source of all transient experience. Could there be anything outside of this experience of being aware? Nothing ever manifests outside of it. How could there be more than one infinite, boundless, ever-present, unconditionally accepting and shared being than that which we are right now? So this deep exploration is leading us to the reality of our shared being. It's what Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh calls love. So why don't we sit in silence for a couple more minutes, and then we'll have time to have some discussion. Thank you. Okay, so we can gradually, maybe if you want to stand up and stretch or take some deep breaths and kind of calm back to our screens here. Mm. Would anyone like to offer any comments, experiences, reactions?
Yes, thank you. Pleasure.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I would say it was very fascinating exploration,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's great. The awareness of awareness, I guess.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I tried it once. I think Barbara might, it was a long time ago, so she might not remember. I remember she was present. I tried a similar one, and it was kind of went over. It wasn't well organized enough or something, but this one seemed more, to me, seemed a little more accessible. But we're opening to something you can't get your mind around. That's if you're not ready to be open to not be able to get your mind around it before you hear it, it's going to be a little difficult. You know? So I didn't really prepare anything else to say about it. But maybe something will come up spontaneously, I guess. You know, the Buddhist masters, they talk about impermanence and how everything is impermanent. I think Larry and I discussed a few weeks ago one of Thich Nhat Hanh's sayings that all things are impermanent and subject to birth and death. But if you remove the notions of birth and death, then the thundering silence is called great joy. So what he's actually saying there is that our very nature is the nature of no birth and no death. If you're interested in exploring his teaching, you know, he's written, I think, over 50 books, but the one I got the most out of is one that he wrote about over 20 years ago called No Death, No Fear. It's in paperback. And it's a deep exploration. It's all about looking deeply at the interdependence, you know, of the impermanence, and how impermanence actually, while it kind of blindsides us, because even our faculties of perceiving reality are impermanent as everything else, you know. It also opens up the possibility that anything is possible. So there's no way to limit, you know, our being. We can't find any limits to it. And maybe that not finding can be the finding of an aliveness that aligns with our deep desire for truth, you know, to find unconditional acceptance, to be able to not only relieve suffering, but maybe to learn how to accept suffering and live with it. So I do have a poem, one of my favorite poems from Thich Nhat Hanh, where he addresses opening ourselves, you know, and offering our experience to our essential nature, our Buddha nature, that which is the nature of no birth and no death, and which has the power to reveal to us that we are the very embodiment of the nature of no birth and no death. And we can think of Mother Earth. He talks of Mother Earth in this poem, but Mother Earth as the mother of all creation. And the title is The Earth is Waiting for You. The earth is always patient and open-hearted. She's waiting for you. She has been waiting for you for the last 1 trillion lifetimes. She can wait for any length of time. She knows you will come back to her one day. Fresh and green, she will welcome you, exactly like the first time. Because love never says this is the last time. Because Earth is a loving mother. She will never stop waiting for you. So, Well, thank you for being here. I enjoyed it, and we'll have a little extra time in our afternoon if we end a little early. So thank you. Have a great weekend.